Hey, my beautiful brothers and sisters. How are you on this beautiful, well, it's afternoon here in Ghana. We're coming up on Sabbath this evening, so it's good to see you pre-Happy Sabbath to those of you who celebrate the Sabbath. I wanted to just get on here real quick. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Madam V, and I live in Ghana, in Accra, Ghana for right now. I know I haven't posted in a second, but I'm going to give everyone the skinny and we're going to do an update on what's been going on. But before I do that, I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I know a lot of you came from the interview that I did with my baby, my daughter, Ms. Drew. We had a wonderful time recording that particular video. We had a good time. We had a long conversations after we finished recording, and we just had a great day at Serenity House in the airport area. And a shout out to Chaz, who is the owner of Serenity House. It's a wonderful place where you can stay, or you can have events there. And we just had a really good time there. So a shout out to them. But I definitely want to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining the family. I also want to, of course, I'm going to acknowledge my family that's been rocking with me from the beginning. I love you all. Thank you so very much. Our family is growing slowly but surely, but that's okay, because this channel is for who it's for. So, and I understand that. I knew that from the very beginning when I started this particular channel. But anyway, I want to also do my housekeeping. Don't forget to like this video. Very important. Doesn't cost you a penny or a pesewa. It's nice. It lets me know you're on track. We're definitely with you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And please don't forget those comments. And thank you for all of you that have been sending me comments and DMs. Thank you to Ingo for checking on me, Ingo Burke. Thank you so much, so much. You always check on me, and I definitely treasure that. Thank you so much. And I have to give a shout out to my Dr. Beverly. She will, even if I'm not around, she will send me a DM. She will send me an email just to kind of check in, and I appreciate you. Can't wait till you get to Ghana. So I definitely want to say hello to you. Shout out to both of you. Thank you so much for reaching out. This video is a little different. I always put out videos that deal with scripture and coming to Ghana. It's still about coming to the continent as a whole, but this is something that the Most High really put on my spirit to do, because I've been wrestling with something for the past couple days, and I was gonna go ahead and record a video and put one out, but I think we need to have a talk. We need to have a talk. I experienced something in the past few days that really had me go to the Most High and really seek counsel, because I've been talking to even other diasporans that are here, and it's kind of been bothering me. So please let me get this off my chest, and also to update you on what's been going on and why I haven't recorded a video in a few weeks. Okay, first, why I haven't put out a video in a few weeks. I've been extremely busy with my coalition, Diaspora HQ. It was put on my spirit to put together a mixer, a business mixer for not only the diaspora businesses that are here in Ghana, but also to create a link between our brothers and sisters in the States who want to come to Ghana and they want to start a business. And so we're going to be actually casting remotely to the U.S. And the way that everything is turning out, it looks like we might be casting to Rwanda as well, to some of the our diaspora members that live in Rwanda, our brothers and sisters there. Because the reason why I wanted to do this is because, and I know this is the reason why it was put in my spirit, to do this because we have a problem here in Ghana in terms of businesses that have been formed and started from the diaspora. We have, how can I put it? We have businesses here, like some small businesses or whatever, but the problem is that we don't know about each other's businesses. The diaspora community doesn't know about all of these businesses, and that's a problem because we're not there to be able to support each other's businesses. So, and that's kind of the basis and the premise of what Diaspora HQ is about. I received a lot of, after I did the video with Miss Drew, after it was released, I just received an avalanche of emails. And I'm still in the process of trying to answer all the emails that I received. And in some of those emails, naturally, people were asking, how do I come there? And I want to start a business. How do I go about doing that? Well, starting a business is it can be very tricky here. And because of that, we really actually need to come together. We need to come together as a community of people anyway. Because the truth of the matter, because one thing that I like to do is I like to be truthful about what it is like living in Ghana. And this could translate into other countries on the continent. And from what I'm understanding, Rwanda is one of them. But it's not easy living in Ghana. And the truth of the matter is we need each other. We need each other as a community of people to be able to assist each other with different intricate things that we need, and then just support, period. As a community, I see that going on with other communities here. I see that with you know, Lebanese community. I see with the Chinese community, Indian, whoever, white community. But we have an issue here. We really, really do. We have got to, what the Most High has put in my spirit is we're coming into a season where things are going to open up for us. But faith without works is dead. There are certain things that we have got to do. We know that we're coming from up under a curse, but at the same time, we have got to put forth what we need to put forth to move forward. I was speaking to a sister the other day. She's in America, very, very good friend of mine. And she said, well, I think that a lot of the diaspora community, they're coming, you know, because she bought some land where my land is in the Volta region. And she said, we're just kind of looking to move out of Babylon, to come out of America, which is crumbling as we speak, and just be someplace where we can kick back and grow food and just, you know, just kind of live. Well, I felt that way too. When I bought my land in Volta, I was like, let me just build my house. You know, I want to have my own food. I want to have my, set myself up where I would be off the system and I could be, you know, self-sustained. And I'd sit on my porch and just rock or whatever and just kind of take it easy. And in the past few days, the Most High has been showing me some things that I think it's important for all of us to really, really, really listen to. And I didn't say this in the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. I urge you, For anyone that is planning to move to the continent, especially Ghana, because naturally I can speak on Ghana because I'm here, please share this video. Please share it, because we are coming into another time too where we need to heal back to Africa. We need to heal back to this continent. We need to shed those feelings of we can't come together and accomplish something great. We've got to shed that. We've got to shed the suspicion that we have when it comes to each other. We've got to get rid of that. I'm not saying we can't be careful, because I'm very careful. But there are certain things we're going to have to get rid of. And I'm going to talk about that in more detail a little bit later in the video. But when she told me that, the Most High put me in a situation on 2 days, actually more than 2 days, because it kind of goes back to maybe about 4 months ago. But in the past couple of days, the Most High has shown me something that's very, very important. We want to come here and kick back and maybe start a little business or whatever. But what I was faced with in a major way, it hit me right between the eyes, and that happened for a reason, is we have been coming as the diaspora, we have been coming to Ghana for decades and decades and decades and decades. But what we do not have here is we have no type of power base here. We have no part in having a piece, and I do mean a major piece, of what is going on here in Ghana. I see other nations that have a power base here in Ghana. We don't have that. We don't have that. So what's going to basically happen to us if we don't really kind of wake up and understand that we need to position ourselves differently. We have the Most High behind us to do it, but it's up here is what's really stopping us. We do a lot of talk, but we don't do anything. Now, Diaspora HQ, the coalition that I have, we're doers. We're not talkers, because talk is not going to get us anywhere. We have to do in the spirit of our ancestors. Now, I don't do ancestor worship, but what I do is I do honor the people that I came from. We have to become doers. And in order to do that, we've got to learn how to come together as a community. Because I know we come here, which is fine. We come here with a kumbaya attitude, and that's, fine. But the truth of the matter, and I'm just being truthful, some of you may not agree with this or whatever, and that's fine. But the truth of the matter is we are looked upon as being outsiders here. We're looked upon as being foreigners, and we are looked upon as being outsiders that provide some sort of, let me get up on you and get some sort of something from you. And that's the way that we're viewed here. And to be honest with you, I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. To quote Flavor Flav, I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. I'm not mad at the other nations that come out here and create a power base for themselves. I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them at all. But what I'm noticing is we don't have the same thing. Now, it would be different if we didn't have the knowledge, if we didn't have the skills, if we didn't have the know-how, and if we did not have the resources. We have the resources to make a dent or make our presence known here in Ghana. But we haven't done so as yet. Now, I'm not saying, again, that people do not have their businesses, little businesses here, and there. And I think that's wonderful. And then there are some people in agriculture. but it's not to the degree where it needs to be, especially for a people who have been coming here for so long. There are over 10,000 diasporans that live in Ghana alone. Alone. You have people that are coming out here that have resources, but we don't pull, and like I said before, I know we have to be careful because people can run off with the bag. I get that, believe me, because I don't give to a lot of things like that. I don't, because I know that's a mentality that we have got to shed too. We have to heal back to Africa and understand what it is we are called to do. Like, for instance, in coming together, we have so many land developers out here from the diaspora. We have so many contractors. We have a lot. I have my businesses coming up. But what I've noticed about these different projects that are going on, they have not made a great deal of headway. And people have been doing this for a while. Have not been making a great deal of headway. They're building little communities or whatever. But and again, I give them props for having the initiative to build these communities. Believe me, I really do. But call me crazy, but I don't understand why you can't get all of these land developers, all these contractors together from the diaspora, and all of them pool everything that they have, their resources and everything they have, and build something substantial here. Go under one brand that is diaspora owned, and make, if you're going to do a master plan community or whatever you're going to do. Because there's a young man, my daughter works for him. He's doing a brilliant thing, and he's Ghanaian. He's building master plan communities out here, and 70% of his clientele, and he's doing pretty well. 70% of his clientele is diasporans. That is who he's drawing from. And he has got his first development is, sorry, my power just went out. So if the lights kind of changed, it's because the power went out. He has one development. It's called Royal Kingdom Estates. My daughter works for Royal Kingdom Estates. I'm sorry, his first development is called Grace City. And it is a master plan community. His first phase is sold of land. His second phase is sold. And now he's opening up a third phase, and that's selling. It's in the Abri Mountains. It's beautiful. It's in the eastern region. It's beautiful there. I have to say, it really is. He got some choice land. Then he's has opened up another area of land that he's selling. Another master plan community. It's called Black Star. It's in Abri. It's in the mountain area, the eastern region as well. It's a little closer to the city. It's a little closer to Accra. But I'm looking at what he's doing, and I'm not mad at it. I'm really, really not. But can you imagine if all of these developers from the diaspora, all of the contractors, all of the people that work in that vein, if they went under one umbrella, one brand, pooled all of their resources together, what they would be able to accomplish. But you have all these separate things, and people kind of lone wolf in it, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It really, really doesn't. So with that being said, what happened to me over the past couple of days, because I don't want to make this, I always say I don't want to make my videos too long, but I'm going to try to wrap it up as soon as I can. I think I'll start back about 3 months ago. With our company, Welcome to Earth, our earth building company, we, my daughter and I are the part of the company that deals more with the aesthetics. And we went out one day and we were sourcing materials and resources for finishes for the house. We also do decorating, interior decorating. And so we went and we're looking at the finishes for the houses, the tiles, the tubs, the sinks, the flooring. So we're looking at all this stuff. And what I noticed is the companies that had the better products were all Lebanese owned. They were all Lebanese owned. And I was like, okay, if we want really good products like that are right here, that are accessible to us right here, we're going to probably have to go to them to do this. For those of you who have visited Accra, or those of you who live here, that Spentex area between Palace Mall all the way down is all tied up with Lebanese owned businesses. And they're doing some amazing things. They're doing some amazing things there. Not only them, of course, the Chinese, from the area that I used to live in, they have all the factories in that area, and they build a huge apartment complex. I mean, it's huge. And right across the street from that apartment complex is a huge soccer stadium. That was built by the Israelis. So you have all of these, all the malls are tied up. By then they own all the malls, most of the malls. I think there's only one mall that's owned by a Ghanaian. So a lot of these things are not owned by Ghanaians. They are not owned by diasporans. I mean, the real substantial things. You may have a few Ghanaians here and there, but in terms of diasporans, we haven't really made that type of mark out here. And that's sad to me. So what happened to me a couple days ago, kind of tying it in with what happened when we went shopping and resourcing the materials. I am in the process of organizing a huge event through Diaspora HQ. It's a business mixer that we're going to have in December. And like I said a little earlier, we're casting it to different areas. So it was my thought, I didn't want to have it in a conference room or a restaurant. That's kind of cliche. I'm not cliche at all. I like very different things. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can access I love art galleries. So I was like, let me see if I can access an art gallery to host this, so that can be the venue for us. And then not only are people getting to know each other and networking, but there's beautiful things to look at. So it's visually pleasing as well. So I went to one of the biggest galleries that's here, and it's called 1957. It's in the Kapinski, it's part of the Kapinski Hotel, which is, if you haven't been here, which is a huge hotel here. And my daughter and I, we went in and we were talking to the young lady who was in the gallery, beautiful little young lady. And so the owner, no, she wasn't the owner, she was the manager, came through the door. And she was Caucasian, and she was from someplace else because she had an accent. And the young lady had told us before this manager came in, she gave us some emails. She said, maybe you can contact them and explain what you're doing and see if maybe they would let you do it here. Well, when the manager came in, the young lady told her why we were there. And her attitude was very interesting. And she was like, well, we don't do things like that here. I'm just telling you that, you know, we don't do things like that, which that's fine. But it was the way that it was said to us. And, you know, so, you know, I'm just letting you know that we don't do things like that here. So I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. So Niger and we went to the lobby of the hotel, and I wanted to have get something cold to drink because it's been really humid here over the past few days. So I did, and I kind of had a little bit of a meltdown because I was in the lobby of the Kapinski Hotel, and the Kapinski Hotel is gorgeous. The bigger hotels out here are gorgeous. Not Ghanaian owned, not diasporan owned, nothing like that. So, and I was just looking around saying, you know, when are we going to get some sort of power base here? Because we have none. And when it comes to nicer things or going to access nicer things, I got to deal with other nations of people. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that, especially sitting on a continent full of melanated people. And now we're coming, you know, and have been coming, but we have no power base here. So I had a little bit of a meltdown. I mean, with my daughter, I got on the phone, talked to a friend. He helped to kind of bring me down a little bit, but he understood exactly what I was saying. So after that, we went to get something to eat. Ah, the power's back on. Okay. Then we went to get something to eat. We went to the Accra Mall. There's a restaurant in the Accra Mall that we've been to several times. And we went there to get a sandwich because they have really wonderful sandwiches, and they have these really good, they have barbecue potato chips to eat with your sandwich. So we went there, and the main manager is, I guess he's from the Middle East or something. The owner of this restaurant, I think, is from Turkey. But he'd left out of the restaurant, and then they brought our food. And I noticed that the potato chips weren't there. There was some kind of weird looking thing that they had, and I tasted it. It was stale. And I was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not paying for this. Because that's what's in your menu. You have the sandwich and the little potatoes, chips, positioned in the center of the sandwich. And so I called the other manager over, and she's a Ghanaian woman, very, very nice. And I told her, what the problem was. And she said, well, we didn't get our chips in. I said, well, I understand that, but this I'm not going to eat. And it's not a cheap restaurant, I may add. I said, this I'm not going to eat these because I tasted them. They taste a little stale. I don't really want to eat these. And they see us as being a problem here because of things like that. Because if I was Ghanaian, they probably would have ate them or whatever. But naturally, I'm paying for these potato chips. So, we're all counting our little chips. So our money. So I'm like, okay, so what can we do about this? So she did her very best to try to solve it. She even said they could go to a market that's in the mall and see if they could find me some chips, but they couldn't. And so she got on the phone. I kept pressing, she got on the phone. She called the main manager, and he said to take 10% off of our bill, which I was fine with that. I was like, okay, that'll work. So this man comes back in the restaurant, and being a person that's been in management all of my life and dealing with customer service, going over to find out, to just say, I'm really sorry that happened. I took 10% off of your bill, but when you come in the next time, I'm going to do my very best to have the chips here. No big deal. So I told the young lady, I said, well, your manager didn't come over to the table. She said, oh, okay, let me go get him. I'll tell him to come over and speak to you. That man did not come over to the table at all. He was sitting right behind us, and she went to go talk to him. And but he wasn't going to do that. And I know why he wasn't going to do that. Because he was not going to humble himself to us black people sitting there. He wasn't going to do it. So we got up very quickly when I really saw, this man isn't coming over to the table, we're leaving. And I'm not coming back anymore. And the manager was very, very hurt, the young lady, because she was like, you come in here all the time and I wouldn't want you not to come. But the man that's running this restaurant. This is on him. So I'm not going back in there anymore. I will not die if I don't get another one of their sandwiches. So, but what all of this showed me, and this all happened in the same day, what this showed me is that we are putting ourselves in a situation that's not very good. They don't regard really Ghanaians very much. And if we don't figure this out, they're not going to regard us either, because they are building their stuff rapidly. And we are just here. So that's something that's really concerning me now. So those of you who are coming to Ghana, we've got to come here now with another mindset. We have to, or we need to, because we don't have to do anything, but it would be in our best interest to come here and learn how to work together as a community, to start to figure out how we're going to have some sort of power base here, and not just come over as consumers, because we're just transferring a lot of those ideas. We're transferring from one continent to another, and not come here as consumers, but come here in a way to strengthen our power base. Some of us really move on faith, like I do, like crazy faith. That's how we're here. And that's how I kind of would recommend it for anybody. But some people are not there yet. And I understand that. So what I'm trying to do, because we have a problem here with car mechanics. There's not a lot of good Ghanaian car mechanics here. And these roads are so bad. It's hard on cars. It's hard on cars. And that brings me to another point. If you come here and you have the money to buy a car, you need to look at getting a Kantanka car. Those are cars that are built here in Ghana that are more roadworthy. They're built more for these roads out here. Unfortunately, Ghanaians do not support Kantanka like that. They prefer to have foreign-built cars, because that's just the mindset here. Foreign-built cars, because that means, that you're more Western, I guess, I don't know, or you have more money or something like that, I don't know. But Kantanka has beautiful, look them up. Google Kantanka. They have some nice automobiles, but those automobiles are built more for these roads. How can you take a Ford, I'm just saying that as just random, a Ford, and put it on these roads here and expect for that car to hold up. The car's not made for these kind of roads. These roads here are horrible. I'm just keeping it 100. These roads here, the roads up to my house, horrible. The road going up to my last house, horrible. And it's hard on your cars. Even if you have SUVs and trucks, it's hard on them because these roads are really, really bad. So it makes more sense. I've already said when I get the money to buy another car, I'm buying a Kantanka because it makes more sense. They're actually even lower in price than some of the cars that come from abroad that they bring in here. So it only makes, to me it makes sense, but that's just food for thought. I'm just kind of giving you some food for thought when you come here. Think about that. But I am starting with a master mechanic that's here. He works on my car, but he does engine work. He's very good. He used to teach, and he does a lot of engine work. His name is Engineer. I'm talked to him about possibly starting some sort of training program with some of our sisters that are coming out here that show that aptitude for working on cars. Maybe it's even to do simple things like, you know, oil changes or tune-ups or whatever, because I would trust my car to get repaired to one of my sisters coming out here. If they've been trained by Engineer, I would trust my car to them for them to do that type of work. Because when I had my first tune-up on my car, the young man broke the spark plug off in my engine. So I had to have some engine work. Actually, Engineer did that for me. But I had to do some engine work that was not cheap for them to go in my engine and get that part of the spark plug out of my engine. So we need to start to build something to bring certain things in-house for us as diasporans. We need to do that. We really, really do. So there are a few things that the Most High has put in my mind to do. I was talking to another friend of mine yesterday. He had a really good idea. There's a thing going on with tomatoes out here. They're not really growing them the way that they should. And so they're getting all their tomatoes now imported. But you can grow tomatoes here. If we do that, if maybe some of our brothers and sisters in agriculture start growing tomatoes, or he even mentioned watermelons, it could be a viable business. But we need to help each other. Okay, we need to be able to help each other and support each other as much as we can to be able to build a power base here in Ghana and also in other countries on this continent as well. We've got to make a presence. We need to make our presence known here in a different way and not just coming here as consumers. We need to do it differently. Another mindset that we need to shake and get rid of, and this is an old expression, you guys know this expression, I kind of don't like to use it, but it really, that's the only thing I can think of right now, so please forgive me. We have a mentality of we've got so many chiefs and no Indians. Okay, we have too many people that want to be in charge. We have too many people that want all the recognition. We have too many people that want monuments to us at different places, when it's not about that. It's not about that. With Diaspora HQ, yes, it's my vision. It came from my spirit. I pulled the people together, and then other people started inviting others. Yes, but I can't do anything without them. So I always tell them, no, this is our coalition. Okay, this is our coalition. This is not the Verlisha show. Okay, it is not. Because eventually I want to hand this off to somebody else, because I mean, I'm 65, in a couple months, I'm going to be 65 years old, you know, but I'm a person that pushes though. I'm used to doing that, but, and I'm a fighter. Okay. I'm a fighter. But I'm 60, almost 65. You know, at a point, I want to be able to step back from this. I don't need to get no recognition. I don't need to get any of that. You know why? Because I don't need it. Okay, I don't need that. That's not the most important thing. You know, I've even said with HQ, as long as I'm in HQ like this, there will be no clicks. There will be none of that ridiculous nonsense that transfers from one continent to the other because people have low self-esteem. I can't do it. Okay, I can't do it because those are the types of things that kill organizations and projects. But we're here to build something. We have to lock arms to be able to do that. With the mixer in December, the mixer is being done in the spirit of Black Wall Street, not the tragedy that happened there. And I know a lot about Black Wall Street. And one thing that I do know about Little Africa is that those people came together to build what they built. And it, against all odds, they were able to do that. That's the stock we come from. So we've got to shed all of this muckety muck and mess that has been deposited on us being over there in that crazy system. We need to do this. And everybody's sensitive and too overly sensitive. These things we have to stop. You know, even including myself, overly sensitive. We have to stop all this. If we're going to build something, you know, we need to have some sort of mechanism or apparatus in place where we can import and export goods, especially import goods in here. We really do need to do that. And I know there have been a couple people who have tried it, but they haven't had the backing of the diasporan community reaching out to the States or the UK or what have you, to be able to have the support system there and the support system here to do this, because other nations do that. Well, why can't we? We're chosen, actually now, very favored people. So why can't we do that? But we don't pull together. Like I said, we are 10,000 strong and growing here in Ghana. And you know, it's so funny because for 4 years, I didn't know why the Most High sent me to Ghana. Okay, I really didn't. I asked him so many times, of all places, why would you send me to Ghana? Because Ghana is very frustrating. But in the past year and a half, he has answered that question for me. There was a reason why he sent me to Ghana. It was to work with this type of thing. It's because this is something we need to do. So those of you who are here, you need to connect with Diaspora HQ. We don't have any dues. We don't do that because it's not about that. With this mixer, we as an organization, we don't really have any money. But boy, are we getting amazing sponsorship for this event. Because I told everyone in Diaspora HQ when we had our first big meeting, we're not asking for any dues. There are some places that ask for a lot of dues. We're not asking for that. Or membership fee. We're not asking for that. I told them when we need money, it'll be there. I'm not even worried about that. It'll be there when we need it. And sure enough, that's what's happening with our very first event. And it's going to be something. So if you're coming here, please come here with a different mindset. We have to build. And the only effective way to do it in the spirit of our ancestors, our foreparents in Tulsa and also in other areas, but we're looking at Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've got to do this together. If you got an area like Black Wall Street where Caucasian people were borrowing money from their system that they have, their banking system. We come from a very special stock. We really do. But we've got to draw on that. That's why I thought that it would be so befitting to honor those people who lost their lives and they were able to accomplish that. We've got to connect. We've got to connect. Across continents, we have to connect. We need to do this. And this is our time. That's another thing the Most High put in my spirit. This is our time, actually, to do these things. But we have to come together to do it. It's absolutely embarrassing that we've never done anything. For me, it's embarrassing that we have not gotten ourselves together to be able to do something substantial that really shows people, yes, we're here. And watch out. We have built nations. Why can't we build something here? Yeah, sometimes you gotta pay. But other people do it. We've got to figure it out. So this was the purpose of this particular video. I thank you for those of you who have stuck with this video to the end. Thank you so much. I am really looking for your feedback on this video. I really, really am. Don't just look at it, but definitely give me your feedback. Even if it's negative feedback, that's fine. Okay, because I can deal with that. But there are too many people that I have spoken to that understand that, get it, in terms of what we need to do, what we've been charged and called to do at this particular junction. So please, please comment and please share this video, like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I will post whenever I can post. Okay, but I got a message from my sister, one of my sisters, saying I've been jonesing for some videos, and I will get back on the spiritual aspect and scriptures and all of that. I will go back to that, but this was kind of a different video for me. So please ponder over it. Talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors, different ones. Talk to them about this. Because again, this is our time and we need to seize this. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. I love you with all of my heart. And thank you for rocking with me. And don't go nowhere. Stay with me. Even though the videos don't come out like back to back to back, stay with me. Oh, and by the way, please don't forget to subscribe to Nye's channel that she's repping, Royal Kingdom Estates. She has moved Nye's Corner, her YouTube channel. She's now repping them. She is the face of Royal Kingdom Estates, and she's doing the same thing that she did with Nye's Corner. She's doing it with Royal Kingdom Estates. And go there, check out her videos, and please support her. Please support her. I would appreciate it. All right, guys, until the next time. Bye, family. Be blessed.